So in case we haven't met yet, because I know this is on our page, I'm Ashley. I'm the founder at the Boutique Hub. And over the past couple of days, not only myself, but our entire team at the Boutique Hub has been digging in as deep as we can into ideas and tips and strategies to help every single one of you, retail, wholesale, industry professionals, just to manage some of the chaos that's happening in the world around us, and especially in our industry right now. And I feel confident that those business owners and experts we've talked to that have lived through recessions and lived through 9/11 and lived through hurricanes and lived through tornadoes and all the chaos that goes with those things have so many great ideas and strategies that are going to help every single one of you guys go through what we're going through right now. We are truly in this together, and I know we've got lots of things to share with one another that are going to help make it possible. All right. So I was thinking about this thing this morning in the shower, and I kind of wanted to start here today. I was thinking about that Christian song, Fear is a Liar. I'm sure you guys have probably heard that song. It's been stuck in my head the last couple of days. But I was thinking about the saying that fear is contagious, panic is contagious, but calm is contagious. Right? I know that you guys know that when you're with your spouse or your kids or your family, when you're at like a gathering like Thanksgiving with your family and someone's stressed out or someone's angry or someone's anxious, whatever it is, whatever the mood and the energy is that that person has, it sets the tone for the rest of the group. Your energy is always contagious, and it can be good or it can be bad, but you have to choose. Are you going to be the thermostat that sets the energy in the room, or are you going to be the thermometer that reacts, right? It tells the energy in the room and it reacts to it. So it's up to us if we're going to live in this idea of feeding off of everyone else's negative energy and anxiety, or are we going to set our own? Are we going to choose how we're going to react going forward? And I think that always is going to translate in business. If we're fearful and if we're anxious and if we're in a panic, you guys, our customers can smell that a mile away. Your customers know that, right? They're scared enough and they don't need you to add to it. So for so many of you, this is going to be an opportunity to be a light in a really dark world, right? This is going to be your opportunity to build relationships with customers like you haven't before, to show who you are and why doing business with small business owners is so much better than doing business with big box, because you're a real individual and you care and you can serve them in a way right now that nobody else can, right? There's opportunity for you in so many different areas, but opportunity is only there if you look for it, right? I've been a firm believer my entire life that something good will come from every bad situation. And if you've ever heard me talk about my cancer story, that has always been the number one takeaway from that experience in my life, is that something good came from that situation, but you have to look for it. And the same is true for you guys today. So couple things, nuts and bolts of what we're going to do. I have a list of, I don't even know, I don't think I numbered them. I just have bullet points of lots of ideas to build revenue right now, and lots of ideas on how to save on expenses right now. And I'm not talking about saving on investments, I'm talking about saving on expenses. And I will elaborate on that a little bit later. If you haven't caught any of the other resources that we've created so far in this process, I just want to kind of highlight them for you really quick. So last week we started creating several tools and also collaborating with lots of our partners in the industry on how to get resources to you right now. So there is a podcast. Last week's podcast is all about COVID-19 and how it could impact your business, but what are the opportunities you have at hand, and what are potential threats and how can you mitigate that risk? We also did a blog post on the topic, and then the blog post goes through all of our partners. So like Management One, the National Retail Federation, Whiz Bang Training, there's several of them that we listed all of those resources. So that is in the blog post. I will link all of that down below, or if our team's watching, they can link that blog post podcast. If you're a member of the Hub, if you go into our training library, I believe it's under the module Business Resources maybe. Thanks, Beth. I know, Beth, you can probably grab that link too. But there's a training in there. I think it's like 6 pages long, and it's a 5-step preparedness plan for you to execute right now. Each of the 5 steps has like multiple subcategories of how you can protect your health, your team, your customers, the community around you, and your business, right? I know, and that's why you're all here today. How do we protect our business? So grab that in the training library. And then for those of you that are members, we have a commitment to go live each and every week throughout this entire process with not only our team, but also some experts we've talked about bringing in to help you address different areas of your business. Because I know that right now, like, we look at it as such a threat, but really I think of this as such an opportunity. I think about sports. I know we talk about analyzing sports so many times. And, you know, I talked about this on the podcast too, but what do players do in the off season? They train, right? In the off season, Kobe Bryant became a great player because he trained. He wasn't sitting around saying, woe is me, or here's my time to take naps and eat Oreos, right? It was his time to train. So this is your time to strengthen your business. This is the off season for your business, and that's okay. Every business goes through this. Every business will have ups and downs. It's a part of life. And I guarantee you guys, if you're serious about business and you're going to be here for a while, this is not going to be the last time that you have something that steps in your way. This is not going to be the last time that there will be an economic downturn or fear or panic or a hurricane or a tornado or a flood or whatever the obstacle is. This won't be the last one. So you're training your brain, you're training your staff, you're training your reaction time on how you're going to handle this, of how you're going to handle everything else in the future. So look at this as an opportunity to get better, an opportunity to train. And when the season rolls back around, because it will for every single one of us, you're going to be the one that's the starting player. You're not going to be the one that's warming the bench, right? So let's get into some nuts and bolts. How can we keep moving forward? All right. So opportunities. Number one, again, money follows eyeballs. So the more you can continue to build engagement in your business, the more opportunity you're going to have down the road. This is going to take people away from shopping big box sites or Wish or Fairy Season or whatever it is, and it's going to bring people back to you. So use that opportunity to build relationships and get more eyeballs on your content. You're also embarking on a time when you're going to know your numbers better than you ever did before, right? Unfortunately, some of you are like ostriches that like to bury your head in the sand, and you're like, I don't want to know my numbers. They intimidate me. No need to have them intimidate you. This is your time to know them. Knowing your break even, right? Understanding deeply your P&L right now is critical. If you are not familiar with how to run QuickBooks, Google it, right? There are a million YouTube videos that you can use to set up QuickBooks for $10 a month, and it is not going to be challenging. You've got this. Understanding your average order value, your units per transaction, your best-selling classifications in your store, all of those opportunities are at hand that are going to make you a stronger business owner at the end of the day. And this is also going to be your opportunity to become a smarter marketer. You're going to learn how to segment your email list, how to use clienteling for your top 100 customers. You're going to understand the logistics of live selling and try-on sessions and Instagram stories and IGTV in ways that you haven't before, right? So this is your time to really get efficient in all these areas of your business. All right, so revenue building ideas, revenue generating ideas. You guys have probably heard me when it comes to talking about productivity, and we're talking about what is the 20% of your list that gets you 80% of the results. Give me a thumbs up if you've heard me talk about that, right? Eric, I give him credit because he and I've had this conversation so many times. When we're looking at our to-do list every week, are we focusing on income generating activities, or are we focusing on busy work? And the truth is, when we're still on the small business side of things, maybe where it's you or maybe you have one person helping you, it's easy to get lost in that hustle mode of I have to do it all, right? But as you start to grow and scale your business and you realize I can't do this by myself, right? I have to be the CEO that has other people help me scale this business. That's your opportunity to focus on the revenue generating activities and outsource some of the rest that's task work, because you can't grow a business by cutting expenses. You can't ever grow a business, and you can't save a business by cutting expenses in a time like this. You can only grow a business by building revenue and getting lean and getting efficient. So that's really where I want you to focus. I know sometimes it's easy to go into panic mode and say, oh my gosh, sales are low right now. What am I going to do about it? And you're slashing expenses. you need that to an extent, but really where your energy has to show up right now is how you're going to focus on building revenue. That is going to be the difference at the end of the day in businesses going forward, is who is smart about both sides of the spectrum, not just the panic side of slashing expenses. Drop me a thumbs up or a yes in the comments if you're with me and you understand you've got to focus on both sides of that business. So let's talk about building revenue first. Number one, I know lots of you've gotten emails from every single store you've ever shopped with since you were, a little bitty baby, and they're telling you what actions they're going to take right now to keep you safe, right? If you're annoyed, that's fine, but you need to do the same thing right now too. There's so much fear and panic right now. The best thing you can do is eliminate some fear in your customers. Whether you have a storefront or whether you have an online business, this is your time to say, hey, these are the actions we're taking. These are the precautions that we're taking. Our store is still open, you guys. Come on in. Come see us while you can. Drive that scarcity if there's going to be scarcity, if you have a brick and mortar. If you have an online business, hey, there's no coronavirus on my website. I've got virus protection installed. I've got McAfee or whatever it is, right? I've got virus protection. You can still shop online. Things are fine. But make sure you let them know we're also disinfecting packages as they go out. Because remember all of the fear that we had in our industry when this virus first came around, and we were like, oh no, I've got all these packages coming from China. Should I Lysol them? What should I do? And you were scared. So imagine now your customer going, oh no, I shop with Sara's boutique online and I saw that Sara's brother is sick, right? Should I open this package? So take that fear away. Let them know what steps you're taking. And maybe you are Lysoling your packages before they go out. I don't know. But let your customers know that you're there for them. You got their back, but you're also going to walk through this process with them hand in hand. Opportunity number 2 is gift cards. So just like we talk about over the holidays, where you're selling gift cards during the holidays and pushing for January or pushing for a slower season, just like Kohl's has Kohl's Cash, just like Gap and Old Navy give you a coupon for a future purchase every time you're in there, this is your opportunity too to share gift cards for future purchases, gift with future purchase, whatever it is, just to keep people coming back again and again. That's a great way to drive repeat business, is every time there's a purchase, you're getting them an opportunity to get back in the door with you or onto your website. I saw a really great tip this morning, actually. Sara with Mustard Seed Boutique, who's local to me, and I got to see on Friday, dropped a note that she's actually sharing gift cards from other local businesses in her packages. And it's a way that her and other local businesses are collaborating with one another, trying to cross-promote one another to keep business local. And again, whether you're online or brick and mortar, I think that's an opportunity for all of us, is to find ways, number 2, to collaborate with everyone. Whether it's a pop-up Facebook group, right? Can't have a in-person pop-up, so have a pop-up Facebook group. Have pop-up giveaways. Share other people's live sales. Promote having Instagram takeovers with other businesses you want to collaborate with. Share gift cards of other local businesses in your packages and have them do the same for you. This is your time really to be in community over competition and find ways to collaborate with all kinds of other businesses to keep your numbers and to keep your traffic high. Tip number 3, discounts. So you guys know I'm not a fan of flash sales, never have been, or not flash sales, blanket sales. Still not a fan of blanket sales where everything's 50% off, because you know what that does? It says, I'm panicking, so I'm slashing my prices, okay? You can still run sales, and I suggest if you have some opportunity in some areas to run a promotion, there's a difference in a promotion and a blanket sale. So what are your best turning categories? You're not going to sell your brand new arrival when you don't know when your next couple of shipments are coming in. But if you do have things, if you are getting to the point where you've got to get some cash, go ahead and go for it, right? Get some cash if you need to in some different promotions, or again, maybe rather than using the promotion of a percentage off, it's a discount for a future purchase. It's a gift card for a future purchase. Number 5. I've talked about this when I talked about this tip on the podcast. I think there's a million ways to slice and dice this idea and make it unique to you, but hosting some kind of virtual closet clean out challenge, or a beauty challenge, or something to do with shoes. You could do a number of things. Maybe you have a buy-sell trade group that goes along with your business and really promoting that at this time where your customers are swapping with one another. But getting them to go through and do a closet clean out challenge, and you could do it for free in your VIP group, or you could do it as a pop-up where they pay $5 to be a part of your closet clean out challenge, and just for participating they get a $15 gift card to come and shop with you. And you're just going through and making a pure give of education. You're talking about how to create a capsule wardrobe, or what key pieces they need to keep, or when is it time to eliminate certain things, or staples everyone has in their closet but they need to know how to wear 5 different ways. What to do with shoes, what to do with jewelry, how to clean your jewelry, headbands, right? Like hair accessories, how to wear different hair accessories. Spend the time, if your customers are not in the mood to buy, if you're facing a slowdown in that way, keep promoting your products that you have for sale, but add in as much education as you can, because again, it's all about keeping the eyeballs on our content right now. So the more product education you can do to keep it light and fun and educational, the more your customers are going to continue to stick around and watch that content as well. All right, opportunity number 6, and this is another one I did talk about on the podcast, and that's clienteling. Okay, I was looking at Beth's comment. Clienteling. All right, so if you have segmented out your best customers, hopefully you've heard me talk about segmenting your lists in a number of different ways, but segmenting out your customers is critical right now. So who are your top 100 customers, and how can you serve them in a new way? Is it by virtual styling sessions? And is that free or is that paid? Or if you book a styling session, again, if it's a low upfront cost, but you get a gift card for booking the styling session, you could do it, your staff could do it, or you're going through one individual at a time and looking at their closet, and then you're taking your phone around your store or your warehouse, or say you brought a rack of clothes home with you and you're doing styling sessions from home, and then using clienteling to create bundles or specials just to serve that customer on a really individual basis. The opportunity you guys have to show great customer service right now is unbelievable, because what is every mother in America thinking right now? And not just America, but around the world. My kids are off school. I love them, but they are driving me bonkers. How am I going to escape the madness, right? There's no sports to watch on TV. There's no March Madness. They're going to turn to online shopping. There's a huge opportunity for online shopping right now, but it's just getting your customers accustomed to it if they aren't already, and then getting creative with them. Give them a reason to make it fun. Give them a reason to shop with you. Clienteling is a really smart way to do that. That kind of flows into number 7, which is obviously video and live sales. A lot of you are crushing it with live sales right now. And a lot of you are crushing it with video, no matter how you're using it. I know comment sold is a great way to do it. Some of you are doing manual invoicing. Some of you have an app you're pushing it through. Getting in front of the camera, getting on video, there is no excuse right now as to why not to do this. Get in there, do a live sale, share some tips, just be yourself, have fun. If it's your first time, that's okay. Tell your customers, you know what? I've always wanted to do this, but my anxiety is at a 10, right? I think I'm going to suck at this and I'm scared. Tell them that. And they're going to be like, girl, I got you. You're doing great. I'm here for you. I couldn't do it, but you're doing it, right? Your customers are going to show up for you even if you're scared. Just be real and go with it. Whether it's live sales, whether it's IGTV, whether it's Insta stories and try-on sessions, right? Just show up for your customers. This is your opportunity to really get familiar with video. And also, if you aren't already maximizing video on YouTube and Pinterest, there's no time like the off season to get used to learning a new product, right? So downloading your videos, downloading your IGTVs, or creating a special video just to create on your YouTube channel, or uploading it to IGTV, or taking your video over to Pinterest, or learning Pinterest for that matter. If you're not already maximizing it, this is your time to get busy with Pinterest. Tailwind is a great app. We use it. Schedule 10 pins a day, just keeping things going, constantly turning on Pinterest. Video is becoming huge on Pinterest right now, right? There's no excuse as to why not to try something new if times are slow. Restyle, reshoot, remarket, right? I know some of you are going to have products that are going to need to be turned. They're going to need to be turned because they're turning slower. We're going to need to restyle, reshoot, remarket because maybe things just didn't go as fast as you hoped they would. So the more we can do that, the more we can go through our inventory. Here's a great opportunity, guys, for testing new photo shoots, testing new branding, optimizing the homepage of your website, right? All the things that you feel like I'll get to one day. here's your chance to test some of those things out and see how people react. So things that need to be reshot that have been on your website for a while, take the opportunity now to go for it. Opportunity number 9. I've talked about this a little bit just in terms of money follows eyeballs and keeping your engagement high. This morning, Shannon and Kate on our team, and I know Ed and everyone else on the team has been contributing to this, but we're creating an engagement library of things to do right now with your customers, and it's going to be inside of the Hub's training library. So I know every mother at home is like, the restaurants are closing and my kids are stuck at home and now I'm going to be cooking for everybody. So build some recipe engagement threads, right? Or build some Netflix engagement threads. Ask your customers, what are they going to do to keep their kids busy? What's their daily schedule going to look like, right? What are you doing right now to survive this? What precautions are you taking? Do you know anyone that's been affected? There's a million questions you could be asking right now, again, just to keep engagement high. So we'll have a whole library of ideas for you in the Hub training library. The point is, ask questions, get visible, stay in front of your customers right now. Your Facebook groups, your Instagram stories, your customers need some relief. They're going to come to you to find it. Opportunity number 10, delivery or curbside pickup. Maybe you don't have enough staff right now to manage delivery, but maybe if you're still turning sales and you're training your local customers to come shop with you, even online, but they want local delivery or pickup, set your hours and just say that you're going to be doing curbside pickup at certain times. Huge opportunity right now. And I know lots of restaurants and bars are going to have to go that route as well. Number 11. Oh, and I kind of hit on this already. We talked about updating your website, your branding, your store layout, but most importantly, all the things that we put off until never usually would be like our operations document and our employee handbooks. And I want to transition and kind of talk about employee handbooks a little bit as we talk about managing expenses, because I know a lot of you are going, oh no, I've got all these employees and now we are forced to close and some of them are sick and some of them are in quarantine, and what am I going to do? And I want to hit on that really quick because I think that's a question that our federal government is trying to answer for us. I would make sure right now you're at least familiar with your sick leave policy. And I'm going to have a thread in the Boutique Hub group in just a minute on what is your sick leave policy. And you have an open conversation. You communicate clearly with your employees and let them know what's up. And please encourage your employees to be a part of this process. Sit down and get creative with them. Help them have a buy-in of, hey, what ideas could we do to generate revenue right now? How could we get more efficient? How could we get more lean? How could we get more creative? Get your employees involved in that because they want to feel like they have buy-in of this process going forward. I heard this quote yesterday. Actually, I like to stalk Sara Blakely on Instagram because she's my favorite entrepreneur ever. And she posted this yesterday. And it was, in the Great Plague of London in 1665, Cambridge University shut down and Isaac Newton was forced to stay home. During the time that he was at home, he invented calculus, parts of optic theory, and allegedly while sitting in his garden, he saw an apple fall from a tree that inspired his understanding of gravity and the laws of motion. How crazy is that, right? So Isaac Newton is forced to stay home because there's a plague and a pandemic. And during that time, he created all of these amazing, wonderful things. If that doesn't speak to the opportunity that every single one of us have right now, I don't know what does. So we can't cut a business, we can't grow a business by cutting expenses, but we can by getting creative and looking for all kinds of opportunity that's going to be before us. Every single one of you has this opportunity to take the time to build your business right now and to get really creative with your team on how we can build some revenue. Now, at the same time, let's transition into piece number 2 I really want to share today. And while we're focused, number 1, on building revenue, we cannot forget to be lean and look at what is an expense versus what is an investment. Because even though something falls on the expense side of your P&L, many of those things are investments that make us money, right? That contribute to our brand, that contribute to customer service, things that matter and that are going to impact sales at the end of the day. So really looking at what can be eliminated, what can be temporarily shut down, and maybe what we need to double down and invest deeper in at this time. So a couple things I'm going to run through. I've got a long list. And to be honest, I'm working on making this list a blog post and a download for our training library. So if you're like, crap, Ashley, slow down, I'm taking notes here, I'm going to have this for you because I think this is really important to share on getting lean. So number one, and thank you, Cynthia, that was really sweet of you. I just noticed your comment. And the blazers from Silver Wings Boutique. So boom, you got it. Thank you for sharing it with me. All right, so how to get lean. Number one, I know there's a lot of vendors right now that are talking about drop shipping. And I think that's going to help some of you that have supply chain issues. Vendors are working on what do I need to put in place right now to make drop shipping possible. So I think that's an opportunity that's going to be coming your way. And I've seen lots of them in the hub talking about it. And we've also got some things in place in the hub right now we're working on today specifically on, I know markets have been shut down. So some of you, excuse me, too much coffee. Some of you are looking for new vendors. Some of you are looking for new pieces to bring in. Even with the shutdown that's happening, you're still looking for inventory that's fresh to bring in. So I see Ed commenting, but we've got something we're working on that is it's completely free for everybody, an opportunity for everybody to work with markets to start to find some new pieces that you may have missed while you were hoping to go to market. So I'll leave you that, but more is to come on that topic. All right, opportunity number two. I know that we have a lot of money hiding in places like email lists, text lists, Facebook bot lists, where we have inactive subscribers that are just sitting there right now that we're paying for, right? There's so many, everything that we're subscribed to. Think about like how many subscriptions you have right now. Pretty much every subscription has two things that you can take advantage of. Number one, there's usually tiers. So the more you use, the more you pay for. So is there a way to eliminate some of those subscribers that are inactive and keep the email list so you can use it as a Facebook custom audience? But just drop down that monthly expense. That's one opportunity with subscriptions. Or number two, can you double down and buy an annual subscription somewhere that's going to save you every single month? And I'll use the hub as an example, but I know you guys have lots of them. Shopify apps, you name it. Right now, say the hub, if you pay monthly, it's $36 versus if you pay annually, it's $24. So there's things where you can double down and save some money in all areas of your business. The hub is just one example. Satellite radio. Another example of somewhere where it's easy to eliminate some expense. Fancy stickers, packages, and extras. I think there's a fine line, you guys, in cutting expenses and things that are unnecessary. If you're, going to reorder, maybe you're just going to hold off on reordering for a little bit. But make sure you're not cutting down on customer experience and the quality of the package that you're sending out, even if you're saving some money, not buying some of those fancy poly mailers right now. So making sure you still have something that's free, a handwritten note. You still have your invoice and your return label. And if you've got stickers, great. If you don't, it's okay. Just make sure that it's a quality package that people are opening up, even if you're not spending all kinds of money on it. Opportunity. Where do you have unused e-commerce apps, right? Where do you have apps in your Shopify store that you aren't using, or you downloaded and you're committed to figuring it out, but maybe now's not the time where you can eliminate some of that waste? Where do you have opportunity right now to consolidate debt? That's a big one if you're looking for ways to get some cash freed up. I know many of you probably saw that the Fed cut interest rates to 0 yesterday, which is pretty significant. I'm not a banker, I'm not an expert in this area, but I would say if you have a local banker, it's time to talk about if you have to take out a no interest loan, now's the time to do it. And if you have to consolidate some debt, now's the time to do it. And I mentioned this in the podcast, but I want to mention it again because I think it's worth it. I see the questions every single day, you guys, on should I take on PayPal Capital or Shopify Capital loans? And my thought is everything's better local. Everything's better local. If you have a local banker that can help you get a line of credit, your local bankers are the people that are invested in your community. They're invested in your business and they want to see you succeed. And when times get tough, I think they're going to be a lot easier to work with than Shopify or PayPal Capital. Here's your opportunity to negotiate rent or your lease. Here's your opportunity to negotiate insurance policies or credit card fees or your phone or your internet. Maybe you're eliminating cable TV. We did about a year and a half ago, we went just to Netflix only. We're paying, $10 a month, $12 a month versus, 60. There's always those little ways to just get efficient. Not eliminating, Facebook ads. Let's talk about Facebook ads. Just checking your return on ad spend, checking your ROAS on Facebook ads. I wouldn't say there's ads that need to be eliminated completely. Maybe you're downgrading traffic ads or conversion ads, but keeping those retargeting ads going, I would say is still a priority. Facebook ads, in my opinion, are investments. They're not expenses, right? When you invest in them, there should be an immediate return. So that's something I wouldn't eliminate completely because you're kind of cutting off a leg of your revenue stream, but maybe you need to just figure out where can my ads get more efficient. So whoever's helping you with your ads, or if you're doing that, or if you're in retail boot camp and we're walking through ads, ask those questions because there is opportunity there. And again, if you're keeping your engagement up on social media, those retargeting ads should be great because you can leverage some of that engagement that you're getting. Store hours. Now, I know this is different for everyone, and I am not making light of this. It's pretty dang challenging for you guys that have been mandated to close. And there's been a lot of that in our community in the last couple days. And I know that's incredibly scary. For those of you that has not happened yet, you might consider, what's my plan of action should that happen, right? How am I going to work from home? And what do my employees need to be prepared for? And what are their roles going to be? And are my employees cross-trained to take that on right now? It's really important. But also, if you're looking to get leaner, are there hours that you're going to start limiting, or are you going to staff leaner on certain hours of the day? Or what precautions are you going to take if your store isn't mandated to be closed like they are in some parts of the country? I would say, again, if it hasn't hit you yet, at least start thinking about it so you're prepared, because no one makes a good decision when they're in a rush and when they're panicked. So just think about that now. Again, if you have a storefront or if you have a warehouse and something like that happens. Or I'll tell you an honest story. Actually, this morning, Meredith, our intern, texted me and she's like, "Hey, Ashley, can you please call me?" And Meredith and I text all the time. We don't always talk on the phone. So I figured if she's telling me to call her, like something is up. And so immediately my mind goes to, oh no, what if Meredith's sick? Like, what if Meredith has the virus, right? Or what if Meredith's in quarantine? And then my mind is just like, like, what would I do? Right? What actions would I take? And thank God that's not why, it's not why she was calling me. But those are real conversations that I think a lot of us are going to have in the next couple of months. Kate on our team mentioned that her babysitter's in quarantine because her roommate has the virus. She's on the East Coast. So if that has not hit close to home for you yet, I urge you just to think about what are the actions I'm going to take if it does, right? What do I need to be prepared for if it does? A couple other opportunities to be lean. How can you trade out your services for someone else's services? For example, babysitters. If someone's going to come in and help you, can you trade out clothes? Or maybe they're trying to get their own business started and you're going to sit down and have coffee with them for 2 hours and show them the ropes, show them how you started your businesses. Where can you trade your expertise or your services or your clothes or your products for someone else to help you in a time where you have to get lean? What else? Can you do, oh man, this is so true, for your store, for your warehouse, or for your life, your personal life? Where can you do your own closet clean out, basement clean out, racks, hangers, whatever it is that you have, point of sale systems, chip readers, whatever it is that you're not using? Where do you have things that you can sell and eliminate to find a little bit of cash, right? I was telling a friend of mine this weekend, I remember it was probably 5 years ago, and we were broke. And my mom, if she's watching this, she's going to be like, "You did?" She got everyone in my family a Keurig for Christmas. And as much as I wanted a Keurig, maybe it was like 6 years ago, as much as I wanted a Keurig because it was like the coolest thing at the time, I was like, you know what? I need $100. I need $100 to buy groceries worse than I need a Keurig. So I took the Keurig, and without her knowing, I sold it so I could make $100 and buy groceries. Same with baby swings and, all the things you sell on Facebook Marketplace. The truth is, there's cash hiding in your house. There's cash hiding in your store basement. There's cash hiding in your warehouse somewhere. You just have to find it, right? I know we can all get creative and find those little pieces. What contracts do you have right now, or contractors are you working with, or capital improvements that you're making right now that maybe could be renegotiated or held off until a later time? As I think about getting lean, I think about not canceling expenses, but postponing them, right? Where can I negotiate with someone to make a payment at a later date, or where can I just put a temporary hold on something and come back to it? But again, we're looking for expenses versus investments. It's really important to analyze everything you've got on your expense side of your P&L in that light. One more thing I want to mention, and I mentioned this in the podcast if you heard it, but we do our best to try to negotiate at the hub with all kinds of service providers to get you guys deals, but also all kinds of brands. And we're going to be highlighting that over the next couple of days. So if you have orders or things or services that you're using, we want to make sure you're saving money while you're doing it. So let me just read you a list really quick, and this will be in the blog post I make on this topic as well. Sezzle, Comment Sold, Office Depot, QuickBooks, Tundra Wholesale, Hertz Rental Car, Vahiro, Harquin Bookkeeping, She Profits Now, Boutique Decor, and I know she's got some really good COVID-19 like signs to put on brick and mortars on your storefront. She made something that's like laminated and really good. Check out what she's got going on at Boutique Decor. SendText, Slick Text, Open Phone, Allstate Insurance. Those of you that were looking for supplemental insurance policies like dental, vision, accident, and critical care, we have those negotiated down to the price of what Walmart gets for their employees. 6 point of sale companies, 6 design and e-commerce companies, Management One, Inventory Planner, Shopventory, Route, No Issue Tissue, Dell Computers, Partnership, Parcel Scan, and the USPS. Parcel Scan we talked about a little bit the other day in a live video I did for members, and that's where if your shipments are late coming from many US carriers, they actually give you like a partial refund on your shipping expense. They track all of that for you so you don't have to, and then they just share in whatever money they're able to recover from those shipping carriers to your business. So it's like money you didn't know that you had coming, but they help try to recover it for you because it's buried in all the contracts you sign when you sign on with any shipping company. So that is kind of a massive list of getting lean and looking for investments versus expenses and how to save a little bit. But again, let me go back and reiterate. You can't grow a business and you can't save a business just by cutting expenses. Really, the only way to do it is to build revenue. So right now, that is where our focus 100% has to go, is to how do we get creative? How do we build revenue? How do we drive engagement? And how do we focus on the opportunity of the off season? Segmenting our lists and getting projects done that we weren't able to get done before. There's all kinds of efficiencies for us to have. And, you hate to say something like this separates the men from the boys, but it does. The people that have the mindset to go all in and I'm going to conquer this and I'm going to get this done, that's who it's going to happen for. That can be you, the person who's going to step up and make your business better because this happened, right? This isn't happening to you. This is happening for you. So just 2 different ways to look at it, because panic and fear are contagious, but so is calm. Last thing, you guys, and on the most human level possible, I just want to tell you this. You have an opportunity to be the light in the world around you. You are human. And, so many times I think about what happened on September 11th. And the world around us was in such chaos, right? But what was really inspiring about September 12th, the day after, was the music that was on the radio and the love that was shared between individuals and the relationships and the treating your neighbor as you want to be treated, right? The way that we serve the world around us. That's what happened on September 12th. And I feel like this is our opportunity to live September 12th every day, right? With the election and everything that goes on and just like the negativity that's in the world, we all get so sick of it. And I know I've had this conversation, this has nothing to do with politics, but I've had this conversation so many times of like, what is this world we're living in? Like, there's so much negativity. This is our opportunity to get past that and to become human again. So please snuggle your kids. Please call the elderly. Please talk to your parents and your grandparents and rebuild relationships that maybe had hiccups along the way. This is your chance to be a human and just to do some random acts of kindness for somebody every day and make somebody smile every single day. And to remember that the more good you spread and the more calm you spread in the world around you, it's contagious. So live like it's September 12th, and there's going to be a lot of good in the world. And no matter what happens, I personally and our entire team is dedicated to this topic all day, every day. And we 100% have your back. Whether you're a member, whether you're not, we're all humans and we're all business owners and we're all in this industry together, and we are going to be here to serve you. So if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below. I'm going to come back and I'm going to scroll through the comments. I'm going to answer a couple on this video. If you're catching this later on YouTube, I'm going to come back and personally respond to all of your messages. But I will be here. The team will be here. And again, in our members group, we'll be going live every single week with ourselves and other experts to try to shed light on the situation. Check out the training library and all the downloads and tools that we've put inside for you, and we'll send more emails on the topic as well.